Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
A clear sky already allowing temperatures to start to fall here this evening with the fresh snowpack that we have from yesterday into this morning. Temperatures sitting in the low teens for many of us, down around 12 now in Rockford, but 13 in Freeport and Monroe, 12 right now also in Janesville, Dixon, and Galena, already 11 out in DeKalb and Poplar Grove. We have that clear sky with high pressure moving in, so that will allow our temperatures to drop pretty quickly during the overnight hours, eventually reaching down around 0 or just below that mark for many spots across the state line, with wind chills not lagging too far behind given the lighter wind. A milder trend though as we head into the weekend. I'll let you know how quickly we see those temperatures rebound and our next few precipitation chances coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Right now at 5, new developments in Rockford. Attempted murder. 2 people sentenced after pleading guilty to a shooting at Auburn High School. Plus, a local church gives away thousands of free meals. Redeemed Life Church using an unexpected gift to give to the community. And a year in review of the Forest City's housing market. Find out why buying a home in Rockford may be more difficult than you'd think.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wendell Edwards. Thank you for being here. Mimi is off tonight. 2 men are sentenced to 20 years in prison for a shooting at Rockford High School. Nyreek Williams and Franquan Wright have both been sentenced to 20 years in prison. They pleaded guilty to attempted murder. In January of 2022, Rockford police responded to reports of shooting at Auburn High School. They found 2 victims suffering from gunshot wounds in the parking lot. Both were treated at a hospital for non-fatal injuries. Williams and Wright were captured on surveillance video. They were arrested later that day, found hiding in a garage on Leapy Street. Tonight, a Poplar Grove man is charged for possessing child pornography. The Boone County Sheriff's Office arrested Samuel Manos after a 6-month investigation. It all started because of information from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, claiming files had been uploaded with suspected child porn. This 22-year-old man is now charged with 6 counts of dissemination of child pornography and 2 counts of possession. He was released from custody after his initial court appearance under the Safety Act. A Rockford church received an unexpected donation today, all now to the benefit of the community. Eyewitness reporter Blake Dietz went to Redeemed Life Church as it distributed more than 3,000 meals than anticipated. Blake, this was really a unique meal giveaway and a community coming together.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Redeemed Life often distributes food to those in need, but they tell me today may be their single biggest event ever. It was unexpected, but it's what many plan to do with those meals that makes this event even better.
Crates of meals arrive at Redeemed Life Church in Rockford. Today, they were expecting 9,000 Factor pre-made meals.
It's just in. We have more than 9,000, we have 12,000.
Oh, amen.
Pastor Donna Esteban says they've received large donations before, but this is different.
I feel like this may be the biggest order that I have seen. I can't speak throughout the whole time, but yes, it's the biggest blessing that we've received so far.
Rockford resident Paul Johnson stopped by the church this morning, filling his car to the brim. But he says he didn't come here for himself.
My girlfriend told me, hey, they're bringing out the Factor dinners, and we could go and help a lot of people. And I said, okay, not just us, but others. We pay it forward. That's what it's all about. You know, others that weren't able to make it here, others that don't have a car.
That was the sentiment shared by many of the folks grabbing meals today.
I take some for people in my neighborhood, and anytime you can help out a neighbor or a friend, I think that goes a long way to show that, you know, there's people out there that care and that God will provide one way or another.
Veronica Cardenas works for Zion Development, a nonprofit offering transitional housing for those facing homelessness. She says seeing the community distribute the meals is incredible.
When you're giving to the community like that, I mean, we have officers out here that are helping and giving a hand and pulling up and seeing that. It's just amazing. When other people are walking the same path that you're trying to, do it, it's crazy and it's amazing.
12,000 meals are going to go out to the Rockford community, and they are going to be fed and filled. Awesome. Amen.
The church says they still have meals and they will remain in front of Redeemed Life Church on a first-come, first-served basis until all are taken. Wendell.
Blake, what a good thing for the community. Thank you. If you're looking to buy a house here in Rockford, it actually might be more difficult than you think, even after Rockford was named the hottest housing market of 2024. The biggest reason for the difficulty? Inventory. Not a lot of houses available. Rockford has actually seen an increase, though, in inventory over the past year. 200 more properties were listed in 2024 compared to the year before. But those houses only stay on the market for an average of 20 days. Those quick sales create difficulty not just for buyers, but also for realtors.
So another hope of ours is that we see a healthy growth in terms of inventory. I mean, realtors have been struggling with their clients in terms of finding them their next home. So we're hopeful that some of the logjam that we've seen that's been caused by higher interest rates and the lack of options starts to dissipate a little bit more into 2025.
Home sales also rose in 2024, increasing by nearly 2%. That's the first year-over-year increase here in Rockford in 4 years. Our U.S. Senator Dick Durbin is introducing a bill that will require more transparency from drug companies.
They're trying to convince us to go to the doctor and ask for their drugs. They're some of the most important, the most expensive drugs that are being prescribed across America, and they're running up the cost of health care. So Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, and I put in a bill and said, at least disclose the price of these drugs that's being charged. And a lot of pharmaceutical companies said, no, we don't want to tell people what they cost because they're so darned expensive, many of them. So we're going to put in this bill. I think that kind of disclosure is not unreasonable. If it brings down the cost of health care, it's a good idea.
So the bill is called the Drug Price Transparency for Consumers Act. It would force drug companies to disclose prices in those prescription television drug ads. So Senator Durbin introduced the bill to the Senate floor today alongside Iowa Senator, as he mentioned, Senator Chuck Grassley. A McChesney Park industrial manufacturer holds a job fair for state line residents today. Hennig Power Protection hosted the main event at the Hoffman House earlier in an effort to fill more than 100 job openings, and nearly 200 people were estimated to show up. Anyone interested in applying was invited to attend regardless of previous work experience. One recruiter says helping people find jobs is what makes events like this so special.
We have so many open positions that it's so open to so many different types of skill level, and I just like helping people find jobs, you know. I've had people move from out of town that are currently staying at the rescue mission and they've got jobs here, so it's just an opportunity for me to help the community put people back to work.
In-person applications will still be accepted for those unable to attend today's fair at their headquarters in McChesney Park. Tonight is our telethon in support of the Rockford Rescue Mission. When we return, our morning anchor Tom Lewis is staying up late tonight. He's going to join us for a sneak peek at the big event. And coming up tonight at 6, tax season just around the corner. In fact, it starts Monday. What the BBB is recommending you do to protect yourself from scammers this time of year.
With the bright sunshine today, did not really help much in the temperature department. Given the fresh snowfall from yesterday, temperatures were struggling to make it out of the teens. I'll let you know where we're going to end up tonight and a warm-up that's on the way coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Tonight is our telethon in support of the Rockford Rescue Mission. And Eyewitness News anchor, my colleague Tom Lewis, now joins us live from the mission. Tom, can you tell us about what tonight's events will look like?
Yep. Hey, Wendell, this is fantastic. We've got a great event tonight. It's our telethon for the Rockford Rescue Mission, a very vital part of the Rock River Valley. They have been changing lives for 61 years. Tonight, the telethon will be on for 2 hours here on Channel 17. We'll be asking for donations, and more importantly, going to be showing some of the stories of people whose lives have been changed. I'll be here along with my co-host, Charmel Jacobs. Charmel, a big night tonight.
Big night. It's been in the works for, well, since last year at this time.
Yeah.
We start right away and planning the next one.
It's that important. It really is.
is.
We're standing in front of the phone bank here where we'll have the volunteers that will be taking donations. And what's going to be most interesting for a lot of folks is to see the videos, the testimonies of folks whose lives have literally been changed. This is that fork in the road where they just need one break, Charmel, and this is Rockford Rescue Mission is that break for a lot of people.
Yes, and it's a long term. It's not a quick, little quick fix, because many times that just isn't enough.
Yeah.
And so we have long-term, we have folks that live with us about a year.
It's a total commitment, And you do meet immediate needs. If folks are cold, they can come in from the cold, they can have a hot meal. But as you mentioned, this is a long-term strategy, and the success stories are just astounding. So you'll join me tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right, Rockford Rescue Mission, the telethon to support this amazing organization here in downtown Rockford. So hope you'll tune in from 7 to 9 here on Channel 17. Wendell, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Looks like it's going to be a fun time. We have snow on the ground here in the state line, but don't expect it to last for too long. When we come back, meteorologist Jordan Wolf will let us know when the temperatures will start to climb. His full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
A lot of that fresh snow from yesterday going into the early part of this morning showing up with many of our Mercy Health SkyTrack cameras across the region, but in particular in Rochelle, where we see a little bit more of that dusting of snow, not quite as much accumulation than some other locations ended up seeing. Many spots actually end up picking up between 1 inch to 2.5 inches of snow on the upper threshold, including the Rockford Airport picking up 1.6 inches of snow. But now I want to talk about radiational cooling, because we have that fresh snowpack in place and we will have a clear sky tonight. And that will actually allow for temperatures to drop pretty quickly during the overnight hours and especially into the early evening because of that clear sky and high pressure overhead with light winds, solar radiation. What little bit of it we had, even most of it reflecting off of the snow, will allow it to escape into space, and that will allow for quicker cooling. Those temperatures will drop a little bit quicker here into the evening. So we look at the ingredients that play into efficient radiational cooling. We have the clear sky in place, and we have those light winds with a broad area of high pressure setting in, and you can see a lot of those areas lacking a lot of that cloud cover that would generally keep us a little bit more insulated. We're already seeing that start to take place with a little bit more efficient cooling going on in some locations compared to others. We're now at 12 in Rockford, 10 in Davenport, but 19 in Springfield, 16 in Chicago, with a little bit less of that snowpack in place. And you can see that discrepancy starting to try and show up just a little bit, in a few spots even locally dropping a bit faster than others. Down to 10 now in DeKalb and Poplar Grove, 11 right now in Rochelle, 12 in Rockford, Dixon, and in Sublette, 13 up in Monroe, Wisconsin. With that clear sky and the snowpack that we have in place, our temperatures will drop a little bit quicker here into the evening, pretty rapidly getting down into the single digits and the low single digits for the early hours of tomorrow morning, shortly after midnight. Not going to be shocked at all if a few locations end up dipping below 0 degrees for that overnight low, and that will allow for a wind chill to also dip below 0. But with the high pressure overhead, those winds will remain relatively light, so not looking like that wind chill will play a huge role, but expect those wind chill values to be a few degrees cooler than that air temperature. We're back up to 20 for tomorrow afternoon. Cloud cover will be on the rise as that high pressure moves out of the area and our next low pressure system starts to work its way back in, helping to draw in that more southerly wind. And you can actually see that when we look with our low level wind direction. Relatively light right now with that wind speed across a very broad region with that high pressure overhead. But you can see that next weather system starting to take shape late tomorrow evening going into Saturday morning with a little bit more of that flow coming more so out of the west, but that will allow more a southerly flow near the surface. And that's what we're going to see with that next weather system, and then another following weather system going into the early and middle parts of next week with a little bit stronger flow during that time. But this all comes with very, very limited moisture, so we're not going to be seeing very broad and widespread precipitation chances during that time. You get the increase in cloud cover though starting into Friday afternoon and the evening, and that's when we could see a few of those light snow showers start to take hold and possibly a couple flurries there lingering into Saturday, along with then again a few more slim chances for some snow showers and possibly some mixed precipitation through the early and middle parts of next week. 20 for Friday, up to 35 though for Saturday. That milder trend overall sticking with us. Even a few days, Wendell, touching close to that 40-degree mark as we head into next week with that slim chance for some wintry mix.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Scott's up next with sports. Bears president Kevin Warren will tell us why he believes Ben Johnson is the right choice to be the Bears head coach.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The Chicago Bears are counting on two men to change the losing culture that has plagued the Bears for so long. One is team president Kevin Warren. The other is new head coach Ben Johnson. And Warren shared a funny story about hiring Johnson.
I was at a restaurant the other night, and someone sent me over a drink with a note. I saved it that I have in my drawer. I looked at it this morning that says, "Please hire Ben Johnson." So I actually saved it. I'm going to give it to Ben, and hopefully, if we do what we're supposed to do, one day that note will be framed on someone's wall.
As expected, there will be sweeping coaching changes for the Bears under Ben Johnson. Out are Thomas Brown, receivers coach Chris Beatty, defensive coordinator Eric Washington, quarterbacks coach Kerry Joseph, and offensive line coach Chris Morgan. Now, special teams coach Richard Hightower is expected to be retained, and that could mean that Hightower's special teams assistant, Guilford grad Carlos Polk, could still be in the mix. Well, not everyone in the Notre Dame football program wants to stick around South Bend for another shot at a national championship. Star cornerback Benjamin Morrison is entering the NFL draft. He missed the second half of the season with a hip injury. Starting offensive lineman Rocco Spindler and Pat Coogan have entered the transfer portal, and so has backup lineman Sam Pendleton. A couple receivers have also entered the portal. Another Ice Hogs getting shot with the Blackhawks. Defenseman Ethan Del Mastro has been recalled. This will be his first stint with the Blackhawks this season. Del Mastro appeared in 2 games with them last April. Del Mastro has played in 38 games with the Ice Hogs this season. He has 8 assists. Hey, you still have time to vote in our Overtime High School Basketball Athlete of the Week contest. This week's 4 nominees that we first announced on Monday are Byron's Malia Morton, Rockford Christian's Christian Cummings, Lutheran's Soraya Parker, and Pecatonica's Cooper Hoffman. You can read about their accomplishments and cast your vote right now at mystateline.com. Look for it on our main sports page. Athlete of the Week is brought to you by McCloskey, Kessler, and Associates. I'll announce this week's winner this Friday night on Overtime on Fox 39 at 11 p.m. That's sports. We'll be right back. The First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford Glass & More shows off a clear sky that will have into the night tonight, allowing for pretty efficient radiational cooling to take place. That's when we have a clear sky, light winds, and that fresh snowpack, allowing for temperatures to drop a little bit quicker here into the night tonight. Some spots will drop below 0 with sub-zero wind chills likely expected for at least a little while, although not too far away from those overnight low temperatures. We rebound to 20 for Friday, a slim chance for some light snow showers Friday night into the early part of Saturday. High temperatures reaching well into the 30s for a period of time next week.
Thank you, Jordan, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again at 6.